Feed pasture grain associated with laminitis in horses. The diagnosis is X-ray, ring on the hoof, or lameness. The mechanism is insulin, leads to vasoconstriction. Horse eats high amount of carbohydrates, the sugar and starches especially. They're fermented in the large colon. There's no amylase breakdown, which increases lactic acid production. The intraluminal pH decreases and the intestinal permeability increases. This leads to endo and exotoxins or other bacterial byproducts, and they enter the blood. It causes increase of glycemic index of the blood and leads to higher insulin response. If this insulin response lasts over time, the insulin resistance can occur. It damages the lamina of the hoof and brings on an inflammatory response. It can be the result of obesity, a body conditioning score from 7 to 9. Ponies are prone to obesity on ad lib pasture. Cushing's disease. This leads to hyperadrenocorticism, which is an abnormal glucocorticoid response. The lack of exercise. Moving muscles regularly increases glucose uptake from the blood and it decreases insulin sensitivity. High intake of non-structural carbohydrates like starch. And the diet for laminitic horses is a low glycemic feed such as soybean, beet, pulp and hay. Avoid barley, oats and carrots. Hay and no concentrates. Soaking hay also removes sugars even further, and biotin helps hoof repair. The definition of laminitis is the inflammation and damage to the lamina, which are the sensitive tissues connecting the hoof wall to the coffin bone. Other causes are systemic inflammation. An inflammation of other parts of the body can trigger a systemic inflammatory response that trigger the hoof, such as colitis, pneumonia, retained placenta, and inflammation that affects the blood flow to the hooves.